Number 6, and again, we're talking, just to clarify for the audience, once again, this is strictly in the rock and metal genres, all right? Because I have a plethora of music that rocks my world. All right, so that being said, number 6 is a live song, and this one I chose because I'll never forget the first few times I heard it. It just changed everything. As a musician, I had started playing guitar, started writing some stuff, but I heard this, and so it's by Kiss, and we used to get fun of for liking Kiss sometimes. I didn't care, but there was Aerosmith fans out there, and everyone else, Nugent and everyone. No, you can't listen to Kiss. So the song is 100,000 Years.
Okay.
Off of Kiss Alive. Mm-hmm. Peter Criss's drum solo. That guitar break where Ace is hitting the minor third and he's riding that out and then crunches back down to the root chord. It's sex. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. It changed everything for me. I'm like, that's what I need to do on the guitar.
That's amazing.
Number 6. Number 5 by favorite band of mine, Judas Priest, Desert Plains.
Okay.
That song just always resonated with me. I don't even need to explain it. Harley Davidson, open road, heading towards the mountains, whether you're in your car, just traveling, waiting to fall into someone's arms at the end, or vice versa. Yeah, great song. Love the guitar. So that's number 5. Number 4, going a little more recent here. One of my favorites, Tool's "Invincible" off of their latest album. So we're coming up to 2019, and that whole album is unbelievable to me, and I'm sure to a gazillion others. But that song stands out for me. I love the words. I love the setting. It's very, it's like the Iliad coming to life. I can picture the Trojan horses and going into battle, and with the prize waiting on the other side. Everyone's fighting for territory and the woman, just like always. But Invincible, yeah. So that's number 4. Number 3. And this is funny because I almost forgot about this one and then it hit me. One by Metallica.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, classic, isn't it? I love that video as well.
Again, that arrangement thing, what I was talking about before about Charlotte's new EP, just really letting the music develop on its own, almost taking a different quality. They nailed it there. That's one of Metallica's masterpieces, and they have many. They have many.
Yeah.
All right, so that's number 3. Number 2, Black Dog. All right.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can say about Led Zeppelin. We all know they've influenced us. It influenced us not just by the sound. Oh, cool! Here's the chords and everything, but really the way the interplay between drums and music, timing. The story behind Black Dog was John Paul Jones wrote the riff, and it was John Bonham that figured out, we don't have to do the turnaround. I can just keep playing in 4/4. And the song it'll come back around on itself, and it did, and it's brilliant. I love that. But just the heart and soul behind it. Hey, hey, mama, lyrics. Again, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It was waking up every young man and his ambitions, I would say. So yeah, Black Dog. And then number 1, a classic by one of my favorites, The End by The Doors.
I love The Doors, yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah, that song really breaks on through, as it were.
As it were, yeah. Break on through the end.
But yeah, The End, I love the concept. Really, it's obviously an existential theme. Some people might think it goes too far and thinks too much about it, but no, I like the symbolism in that song. Morrison's definitely at his best. It's coming from somewhere else. That's all I got to say about that. I love all of the raised harmonic minors too that Robbie's doing. It really gives it that haunting, almost Moroccan sort of sound to it here and there when he's playing. But again, just the opening up of the song, the length of the song, Jim's poetic interlude obviously raised some eyebrows back when. Today it probably wouldn't, because it's all relative with time, huh?
Yeah.
But the symbolism of breaking away from the parental figure, it was real rock and roll,
Yeah. Absolutely.
But that's it. So those are my 6 songs. There you have it.
That's your first 6, right? All right.
Sure.
And so then, if a Hollywood movie was made about your life, who would you like to see to play the lead role as you?
That's a great question. I like that question. Okay, well, see, Christian Bale would be cool because he was Batman, and we have sort of a similar, a similar thing going there. But no, to really like, I tell you who I would like to dig into it, and this is my answer. Gary Oldman.
Oh yeah, okay.
Gary Oldman. That's my.
Okay, and what would the film be called?
How do I get out of here?
Yeah. All right.
How do I get back in?
So the next 6 is the 6 favorite albums.
Are you ready?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right. Number 6 is a live album, and this one had a lot of effect on me. The guitar playing speaks for itself, and it's a classic. But more so, it was how the guitar playing made me realize the full sonic scope of what guitars can do, and that's Leonard Skinner's working for. Not working for MCA. That's the title track. One More from the Road.
That's great.
And the title track, which I was just going to mention, working for MCA. I mean, right away they start out rebelling against the system. Screw you, we're going to do the music the way we want, even though you signed us, whatever, So they kick it off with a bang, and then of course Freebird.
Absolutely, yeah.
Guitar.
One of my first 12 inches. That was actually, yeah.
It's amazing, and I love the song Freebird. I know it's the butt of many jokes because it's so overplayed, but it's. There's a great scene, mind you, too, with Freebird in one of Rob Zombie's movies, Devil's Rejects. It's at the end. In the car, and Sheridan's gone, and they got the gun, and they're going through the barricade. What a great... It was Devil's Rejects, right? Not the other.
That's right,
Devil's Rejects. Because the House of 1,000 Corpses was first.
That's the one.
Very macabre. But that ending scene of Devil's Rejects with Freebird, Skinner would want to use that for their video. Number 5, going back to Judas Priest for this one, Unleashed in the East. And I knew Priest was going to fall in there. It was either that one or Screaming for Vengeance. Screaming for Vengeance to me is the best studio album. Very influential on me in my writing. I always loved the heavy metal where you get the melody, but that guitar's got to pound. It's got to go inside your skin.
Yeah.
Priest, as we know, always had that. It was the sonic nature of their guitars was always great. So yeah, that's their studio. But Unleashed in the East, listen to it religiously. Victim of Changes, The Ripper, the Sinner. I mean, it was, and that's metal. That was like I knew. All right, now I'm listening to metal. Yeah, this is good.
So what's your feelings then about Rob Halford still going? How old is he now? 70 odd. Have you been to see him play live?
I just saw a picture of him rocking it out. My feeling about it is, go for it, man. If you still can, while you can walk and speak,
yeah,
why not? Yeah, I said, good for Rob.
Okay, so the number 4.
Number 4 is The Real Thing, Faith No More. What an album! I remember. So, there was Appetite for Destruction, which gets honorable mention. I'm not going to. It came close to being on this list. That would be in the top 10 for sure. And I loved it, and we all loved Guns N' Roses when they came out. They were fresh. It was exciting. A lot of people thought, they were bringing rock and roll back to its roots.
Yeah.
That's when spandex started going off and jeans started coming on. That whole thing. It started changing a lot of things, and I do believe Axl Rose made it. A clear path for other vocalists to come out who weren't necessarily singing at the top of their 3-octave range all the time. Let's face it, Axl Rose made it acceptable to use different parts of the voice. His mid-range was very strong. I think that's where a lot of the Seattle stuff started falling into place. People were now accepting. But Faith No More came out with that album, and it was a different energy than Appetite, but the songs, the structures, they had a pretty cool use of synthesizers, which Charlotte has used. We use more synthesizers than people may realize. We're definitely a guitar band. But we do like the sonic aspect of the synth, and Faith No More was using them real well. They had a great energy, and I love the progressions. They would intertwine, layers of change within a chord rather than always changing the chord, and that I thought was phenomenal. So yeah, big influence on us. We identify with them a lot. The band did. Charlotte did, that is. Number 3, going back to Tool, Fear Inoculum, that same album, 2019. I haven't heard anything like this. I mean, Danny Carey, enough said. I mean, this guy, he's Eddie Van Halen on the drums. It's unreal. I mean, he could probably play Eruption on the drums. He's so good.
Probably that, yeah.
He could probably even get the sound somehow. But yeah, again, the lengthy songs, the open-ended lyrics, just the storytelling, not just Invincible, but Pneuma. What a beautiful song about people connecting on a whole other level. It just spiritually, it makes you realize, hey, we're very small. This universe is very large. It is that kind of an album to me. And even not just the lyrics, just the music. It's otherworldly. So yeah, they come in at number 3. Number 2, my boys going with the Doors again.
Yeah. Can't beat the Doors, mate. Absolutely.
And I'm saying the Doors as in their first album, the self-titled.
Yeah. It's like the Doors. I was introduced to them a long time after they finished. I mean, how old were you when you first learned about the Doors?
Oh yeah, no, because we weren't born yet. Geez, we're not. No, I mean, I learned about the Doors. You're talking 15 years later, at least. Yeah. And I remember when I first heard them, because their sound is so unique. I feel like the Doors are if any band is really a love them or hate them kind of band, but can't ignore them. As the saying goes. They just have a way, again, a great use of synth. They didn't even have a bass player. The organ player carried most of the lines on the recordings anyways. So I really thought with that album, in relation to its time, very unique, high energy, break on through the end, Soul Kitchen, Light My Fire, these are stories, and his writing, the poetry and the writing, all the suggestions. Jim Morrison, one of my favorite quotes is, "My lyrics are there to suggest, not to tell." Mm-hmm. So yeah, that album comes in at number 2. Number 1, and I hope it's not too obvious, but it really it changed everything, and it goes with my number 2 song, is Led Zeppelin 4.
Okay.
I mean, when you have Black Dog, When the Levee Breaks, and Stairway to Heaven on one album, that's a gargantuan feat right there. But other than that, like I said, when I first heard Black Dog, literally I was, holy shit. What is this sound? What is this singer doing? Where is this coming from? And then hearing the drums and the guitar, like I mentioned before, intertwining with the timing and yet still having all that soul and that grit, that did something. And, Stairway to Heaven, monumental. But all that album, I used to listen to, what's the ballad on there? Going to California? No, Battle of Evermore is on.
Oh, yeah, Battle of Evermore, yeah.
Haunting Song, I used to just sit and listen to that and try to imagine how I would play that on guitar. It's like, what's he doing there? Had an old world feel to it as well. But yeah, just the sound of the guitars, the work with the blues and the heavy, so they invented heavy metal apparently, or Black Sabbath did, Iron Butterfly, one of them. But Zepp was right there, one of the heaviest. And so those guitars were just very primal. And at the same time, the music was, again, a spiritual element to it, like Tool, I think. And it rocked balls, man. It was just great. So that's my number 1. There you have it.
Love it, man. Love it. That's a good choice, man.
Ask me to try something different next time, and I will.
Right, so your final six then, okay?
All right, here it is. I gotta brace myself. This is Sebs Surprise 6. All right.
Yeah, all right. So the first one, if you had to go and get a tattoo today, what would you get?
Give me like a little copyright symbol with the year I was born. I thought that was a good idea. I don't know. You know,
Right.
I mean, just to make it official.
Right. Where would you get it though? Would you get it on your arm, on your neck, on your face? Where?
Where would I get that one? No, maybe not on my neck. To be honest with you, the tattoo I really wanted next was a nice big. I'm a nature guy. I love the outdoors. I'm always observing, and I find them fascinating and almost alien-like. It's a praying mantis,
Okay. All right.
a big
That'd be
praying.
cool, actually. Yeah.
Just to finish out some of the sleeve here. So yeah, let's call it that. It would be the praying mantis. The copyright thing, that's cute. It'll come later.
All right. Okay. So how far would you make it in a horror movie
As a character?
as a character? Yeah.
Well, probably pretty close to the end since I would be the bad guy.
All right. So with that then, which is your favorite horror movie? This is still part of the same question. Which is your favorite horror movie and which character would you play?
Oh, one of my favorite horror movies, hands down, is John Carpenter's Halloween, the first one. The lack of the use of lighting. There was a very limited budget, and remember, I work in film as well, and I know a thing or two about lighting, and he didn't use much in that movie. I don't think he had to. I don't think they had them. I think they had like maybe a couple of C-stands with a 300 water going down. And, Jamie Curtis there when she was scuffling behind the couch. But yeah, the usage of slow motion. The guy never ran. He was like, he could walk. And, the person's running for their life. And somehow he's always 10 feet behind him still. Like, what the hell's going on, man? So that was pretty damn scary, the way he could do that, the boogeyman. It was the minimalist approach to it that I love. Because I think those movies, rather than it had some gore in it, sure, because he wanted to display how brutal this character was. Just the slow motion and the lack of, constant gore and flashiness. I think it lets the imagination really
Suspense. Yeah, man.
Absolutely. Matt. So Halloween, that's one of my favorites. And I guess I would play Mike Myers. Why not? I think it'd be fun.
I know you're a cat lover.
I can talk in that voice and hold a gun. Come on, man. Yeah, so Michael. So yeah, all right, that's my movie.
All right, I know you're a cat lover like myself. Then how would you react then if your cat started talking human to you?
Oh man, that would be awesome. I think first thing we'd do is go get a beer. He would buy. I would really want to. But think about it. You could get some. You could get some insights that it's like. What's that dog saying over there? Like how's it? You could kind of see if he had any links into the rest of the animal world. But yeah, I think that would be amazing. I don't know if it would even shock me that much. I feel like he already does talk to me.
Same, yeah. It's always good to have a pussy talking to you.
Yeah. So I wouldn't call and check myself in. I know that. I would just roll with it. I'd say, all right, so I'm hearing a talking cat. This is cool. That would be a highlight of my life right there.
Yeah,
so
same,
why would I want to stop that?
Exactly. All right. So what word do you use most often?
He heard us, dude. He heard us.
She did.
He knows. All right, go ahead. What's that? What word?
What word do you use most often?
What do I use most often? I like this question. I would have to say, I'd have to say totally is a good word. Not totally I don't know if that's the right word that I'm saying. Well, the F word for sure. So we throw that one in. I'm trying to cut that down though.
Yeah, same.
That's bad habit. No. I guess if I had to, isn't the a word that we all
The.
outside of the? I would have to say, I like the word go. I think the word go comes into my vocabulary quite a bit. Yeah, always go. Don't stop. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do that. You ready? Yeah, let's go.
Next
Okay.
one. What is the most irrational superstition you have had before you've gone on stage?
Ooh, wow, that's good too. The most irrational superstition before going on stage. I'll tell you, there were a couple of them. And so, okay, so here's some things that I used to do. Number one, I really like to get into a zone. Like, I remember we'd have some pre-parties, we'd have a few drinks. I would like to have a drink, you know, but for the most part, I like to keep to myself, kind of like a pitcher in a baseball game getting ready for his start. I think of myself like that. But as far as superstition goes, yeah, that's a good one. My irrational superstition before shows was, number one, I had to have my own mic stand. I had mine. First of all, it was lighter. I could spin it easier, and it was the tripod kind instead of the landmine bases there. The other ones had that big steel disc. So I like that. But I bought it for that reason. I acquired my own mic stand for that reason, so I could be comfortable with it. But then it became a thing where, all right, if I don't have that one, like if we forget it or whatever, it's at the studio. Oh shit, the sound is going to go bad, or you know what I mean? Like one of the guitars is gonna bust 6 strings at once. So yeah, I had to have that mic stand, and then to further the OCD irrationality, the mic stand had to face a certain way. Once we started the song, and I think it was where the tripod, it had to have 2 back and 1 out. So yeah, those were my irrational superstitions. I had to have my own mic stand, and it had to be facing the right way. And that was, but these things you hear about these things from athletes. They have all these quirks.
Yeah.
And I think it's more so not as much superstition as it is getting everything in the right place. But you can't get too hung up on that shit. So yeah, and that's why it's irrational.
Right, the final one then. If you had the option to press a button and restart your musical career, would you press it?
Maybe like 10 minutes of it where I was in that one meeting. No, that's a tough question, Seb, because you open up all kinds of Back to the Future doors with that one.
Yeah.
No, because you know why? It happened the way it did, and what if you restart it? Now, is it with the assumption that you know everything that you learned, or are you really restarting?
Just restarting the whole journey again.
No.
Right.
No.
I think that's like an interesting question. It's like, if you could restart your life, would you? You know what I mean? It's that sort of deep. It's a deep final up.
Right. And it falls in line because you feel like, all right, some things could be a lot better, but hey, the fence, grass is greener, because it could also be a hell of a lot worse. And that's the thing.